The problem tells you that. It says you're having this cross. It tells you that this is the female rabbit and this is the male rabbit. This is the genotype. 2 copies of every gene. It's diploid. Clear? So one, it's going to make different sperm depending on which one of these 4 it's going to put into randomly into the sperm. So how do we determine how many different combinations of G and B are going to be in those sperm? We're going to use something called FOIL. FOIL. First, outer, inner, last. FOIL. And you'll be using it in algebra if you haven't done it yet. So big G, little b can get us, let's take a look. If it did first is big G, little b. That's first. Your outer would be big G, little b. Why did I put big B? I have no idea. Big G, little b. The next is big G, little b. You see that? Big G, little b. That's your outer. Your inner would be big G, little b. And your last is going to be big G, little b. So how many different combinations of G and B can this male with this genotype right here, how many different sperm, different combinations of sperm can this male produce? One different combination, one type. Big G, little b. That's it. It produces 4 cells, correct. But they're all big G, little b. They're all the same combination of genes. Are we clear? Okay. Because I hear people saying things that are not. So if we do the same with the other parent, that was the male. If we do the same with the female rabbit, we have little g, big B, little b. It's different because now you got big G, big B. That's, I should use the same color code, I suppose. Big G, little b for first. I'm sorry, big G. I'm messing up all over the place. Little G, it only has little G's to give and a big B, correct? Little G and big B come together. Or you could get the outer, which is little G, little b. And then you can do inner, little g, big B. And then you got to do last, which is little g, little b. Now I'll ask the same question I did earlier. How many different kinds of eggs can this female make? 2. What are they? Little g, big B, and we can make little g, little b. Those are 2 different kinds of gametes we can make. Now I'm going to do the first way, the way they tell you to do it here on the chart. They do the chart for you. They take the male sperm and they say, okay, it can make big G, little b. It can make big G, little b. It can make big G, little b. This is just like the dihybrid cross we did in class last week. Then, or you could do the female. They can make also 4. Somebody keeps saying the word 4, and you're right. It's going to produce 4 sperm and 4 eggs. That's correct. What's 4 by 4? 16 is correct. So it's a 4 by 4 square, or 16 possible different outcomes. But some of these are going to be repeated. That's fine. People are still having side conversations, which just boggles the mind. Little g, big B, little g, big B, little g, little b, and little g, little b. Now, when you do the combination of eggs to sperm, remember, please try to remember that these are all sperm. And they're coming together with possibly any one of these in the male can be combined to match up with these eggs. So these eggs and sperm are going to come together to form a diploid organism, to form a zygote, something with 2 copies of every gene. So in this first box, it would be big G, little g. I like, first of all, keep the same letters together. And secondly, I would choose, I'm going to suggest to put the capital letter first. It's easier to read for you. Big G, little g, and then big B, little b. And then just do that all the way across. This is what they want you to do. Are you noticing that there's some repeats? You'd expect there to be repeats, wouldn't you? So this is what you'd have to do for all these. Now I'm going to show you a shortcut that I think would save you a lot of time if you learn it. If you don't, you can just do it the easy way here. It's actually, they're both easy, but this is, to me, is a little boring to keep writing the same letters over and over again. But it's good exercise, so go ahead and do it. So you're I'm giving you the answer, so don't anyone tell your. I hear a parent tell me that you told them you didn't understand, and that you weren't able to do it when I'm giving you the answers in class. I don't know what else to do. So there it is. Now remember, big G is gray and big B is black. So let's first look at which ones have the dominant phenotypes of gray and black. So let me just go ahead and change the color here to gray. Which one of these is gray and black? This one's gray and black. This is, do you all agree? Gray and black, gray and black, gray and black. I'm looking for anything that has a capital letter. One big G, one big B is gray and black. That's it. Those are the only ones that are gray and black. Which ones of these are gray and red? Well, they're all gray, first of all. Do you all agree they're all gray? All right. But which ones are red? Well, this one has red eyes for sure, right? Red eyes is the lower, is 2 homozygous recessives. So guess what? Half of them are gray with what? With black eyes. And half of them are gray with red eyes. So you got 8 out of 16 are gray with black eyes, and 8 out of 16 are gray with red eyes. So that you can do that easy, right? If you can tell the difference and just count them, that's easy to do. What I would suggest is that you can simplify this, because you know that these three are repeated, and you know that these are repeated as well. The only two different ones you have to worry about are these two and then this one. So really all you had to do was this: big G, little b, crossed with... You already knew if you would have set up the chart in a different way, rather than setting it up the way we just did, just generically, you can set it up with the only possible genotype that the one parent can make, which is big G, little b. That's the father. And then there's only two possibilities for the female, and that's little g, big B, or little g, little b. So there's only two possible genotypes and phenotypes. It's big G, big B, little b, or it's big G, little b, little b. So only 50%, or 1 out of 2, are going to be gray and black. And 50%, or 1 out of 2, are going to be gray and red. So then the question is, if you know it's 50-50 and they ask you how many out of 16 are going to have gray fur with black eyes, what would you say? If you had this, if this is what you had, and then they ask you the question, how many out of 16 would have gray fur with black eyes? 8. How many out of 16 would have gray fur with red eyes? How many out of 16 would have white fur with black eyes? 0. How many out of 16 would have white fur with red eyes? Easy, right? So don't you think it's easier to do this here rather than do all this mess up here? But they have you do the full 16 at first. You can choose if you want to do the shortcut as you move along. I'm going to let you do it. The rest of the period, if you have trouble, come up and see me. I will ask you one of these questions tomorrow for your quiz. Your quiz tomorrow will be one of these. So get it done. Ask me if you have problems. Thank you.